Ladies and gentlemen, this is just your weekly reminder to follow us on all of our social media platforms: Instagram at Nothing But Controversy, Twitter at NB Controversy, Nothing But Controversy on Facebook, at Nothing But Controversy on TikTok. If you want a link tree to all of those, you can find that in our description on our Instagram account. And as a reminder, boys, this Thursday, August, what is it? September 2nd. September 2nd at 7 p.m. at the Pines Pub. Nothing But Controversy in the Pines Pub, sponsored by PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, is hosting our first ever trivia night. By the time this episode comes out, I think tickets are going to be sold out. But be there at the next one. We have a great show for you today, our Nothing But Controversy college football preview. But before that, let's get into the intro.
This is Nothing But Controversy. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Nothing But Controversy with Matt, Dawson, Cam, and Shaner.
All right, as you guys can see, for all of you watching on YouTube, there's only four of us. Matt is not here this week. He had to a scheduled surgery for his penis reduction, so he won't be able to join us this week, unfortunately. But we have the normal crew with us: Cam, Shane, Liam, and like I said in the intro, this is our college football special. Okay, I'm excited. I think the boys are excited. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be a little bit of the host on this one because, again, Matt getting his penis reduced. But it's no secret to the group that Cam and Shane are the college football experts. No offense, Liam. No offense, Dawson. So they're going to be doing the majority of the talking today, but Liam and I will chime in when we can. But if you love Shane, like I know all of you do, this really is the episode for you. So without further ado, let's get into This Week in Sports. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing too much of the talking, not going to bring up too many topics. So I'm going to hand this one off to Cam very quickly. But obviously, we did see some NCAA action this week. Our boy Jack and the UConn Huskies got into something. UCLA had a game. But Cam, talk us about week zero of the
NCAA. That's what everyone's calling it, week zero. Weird week for college football. It started off with me sending a parlay to the GC. The first two games weren't really even close. So on a 4-leg parlay, two of them were done right away. We had UConn locked in at plus 27.5. We all talked about it last week. We thought it was going to be, we thought that was almost a lock. We thought that was disrespectful, and UConn had way better of an offense to be doubted by that much. But Fresno State's defense was ready. It was really hot. I'm not taking anything away from anyone. It was 116 degrees on the turf in the third quarter. So
yeah, that was
almost
disgusting.
Inhumane conditions to play a football game in, especially week one. UConn hadn't played in like over 500 or 600 days. So too much of a task for them. That one unfortunately lost. And we had Illinois, Nebraska. Nebraska favored by 7 or 6.5, depending on where you're looking. Illinois' quarterback, Brandon Peters, went down early in the game. Looked like a broken collarbone. We're hearing it might be a shoulder sprain now, but Illinois ends up winning the game with their backup quarterback, Artur Sikowski. He was at Rutgers as a freshman, lit it up, transferred to Illinois, got his chance in week zero this year, and stole a game for them. So poor Scott Frost in Nebraska. Nothing else really in week zero. UCLA blew out Hawaii. I love DTR. Didn't have a great game passing, but they got the job done easily. And then UTEP, New Mexico State. Not going to lie, didn't watch that game. Don't know a player on either team, so won't talk too much about that. And then Nick Starkel, the 6-year starter or 6-year player, still at San Jose State after a year there. Won the game for them. So the San Jose Spartans are 1-0. but San Jose State Spartans, I should say. But yeah, not too crazy of a week. A little bit weird, but not too
Whole lot
much
to look forward to next week.
Is it
Yeah. Oh yeah.
boys? Is it too early to say that
Is
Scott
it to
Frost-
say?
Yeah. Is it too early to say that Scott Frost is already on the hot seat in Nebraska?
I think he absolutely is. He
Oh
absolutely is.
man. Because this guy, we've been hearing the past like 2 years he's been there, underwhelmed heavily, and now he lays up that goose in week 1 when everybody had them winning, and now backup quarterback off the bench beats them.
Also my favorite quote from Saturday. They asked Scott Frost about what happened on defense, and he said our whole game plan was thrown out the window as soon as they lined up how they did.
Oh,
Wow. So literally prepared for nothing except what they saw maybe on film.
That's how you put yourself on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro,
Why would you incriminate yourself like that?
Yeah.
I saw someone on Twitter, and I know Cam listens to it. I don't know what it's called, but Tom Fernelli's podcast.
The Cover 3 podcast.
Yeah,
by
I
CBS.
saw someone like tweeted, and it's like Scott Frost would have been more prepared had he just listened to the podcast than what he was going into that game.
Jesus.
Yeah, no. Not to shout out another podcast on ours, but if you guys want to catch up on college football.
No, fuck them. Shut up, Cam. But just very quickly, and Shane, I don't even know if you know this story, but obviously we all coach minor football. And just speaking of bad coaching, this past weekend, we had the opposition coach. Okay, context, we won 33-0. But just to point out how bad coaching, a coach is bad when they call a timeout a water break. Instead of saying like timeout ref, he would say water break ref. That's how you know.
Stop.
That's how you know.
And they wouldn't even run onto the field with water. They straight up called the whole team off onto the bench. They all sat down, had their little coffee break, and then went on back onto the field and promptly lost by a lot of points. What?
I've never ever seen that. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never ever seen that before.
That's insane.
I don't know what was going on.
Last weekend when it was really hot, I called the timeout and got my kids on the bench to get water, but I didn't call it a water break. I called the timeout.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a ref fucking gave us shit for having a ball that wasn't pumped. And he's there like he's literally with the ball. He's like squeezing it like this, like fucking freaking out, squeezing it so hard. He's like, yeah, it's not pumped properly. And he throws it to our bench. I'm like, I feel it. I'm like, it's pumped fine. I throw it back. And he goes, nope, throws it back to us. We couldn't use our own ball. It was a mess.
That's horrible.
I think he's secretly the Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyways, back to college football. Cam, what do you got for us? Preview of next week. What game are you most looking forward to?
That's a tough one.
Really?
Georgia Clemson's definitely number one. There's no getting around that. That's gonna be great. I'm really excited to see Georgia. Like obviously Clemson, we know we're getting. Justin Ross is back from his opted out season last year, or he was injured. I'm not sure. I think he ended up opting out, but
well, no, he was hurt. He tore his ACL. I'm pretty sure.
So he was fucked. He's back now. DJ Ungalale, hardest name to pronounce in the league. But yeah, we know we're getting with Clemson. We sort of know we're getting with Georgia, but JT Daniels, like I said, Zamir White, George Pickens, that O-line, they're ready to do some damage this year. So yeah, I think that's going to be a great game. Obviously, it's in prime time. A lot of eyes going to be on that game.
Oh yeah.
But another game I'm looking at is Alabama and Miami. Not sure if Derek King's going to play. I haven't really kept up with that this week, but it's going to be crazy. Miami, like if he comes back, they got Charleston Rambo from Oklahoma. Shane wanted him badly.
I don't want to talk about it, bro. I was heartbroken.
Yeah, but so we'll see. I don't think their defense is up to the test. Obviously, they lost a couple D linemen, but we'll see what happens. Georgia Clemson is going to be it has everything's pointing to me right now to that game being a huge shootout.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Big time.
So
we'll see with Clemson's defense, but
if it's not Derek King, we're talking Clemson. I think we're talking Bama, Miami.
I don't think that game's going to be a shootout.
Okay.
I think that game might be over by halftime.
Probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
There's
I was
definitely
just yeah.
Georgia comes in looking like a shootout.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It
Shane, what
might
are
be,
you looking forward to?
it might literally come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
the SEC plays good defense, so we'll see.
And it's not like DJ didn't get any reps last year in his freshman year. Like Trevor missed 2 weeks with COVID.
COVID.
So and DJ played a tough defense in Notre Dame. Obviously, they lost that game, but didn't they put
At
up
Boston College, they were down
Yeah.
for almost 3 full quarters of that game.
Yeah, so he's played tough games, and now he's obviously he had the full training camp as a starter. Everybody knew he was coming in as a starter, so he got those first team reps. So I think he's ready. But like you spoke about him last week, JT Daniels, man. If he comes in and he's on, he's definitely, if he comes in every game and plays the way we all know he played last year, he's in the Heisman conversation at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then
he might be like a midseason favorite.
Mhm. And from your
Especially if he could.
oh, go ahead, Liam. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, especially if he can lead his team, to like a top, like winning over Clemson, maybe who knows? And if his team can stay up there in the top 3 of the power rankings, like who knows, bro? I think he'll have a serious shot at winning it.
Now, how much, like for preseason rankings for Heisman, let's say, how much do you think a team's placement in the top 25 like fares for a lot?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, well, think about it like this: the Heisman has voters like all over college football. Like, I don't know exactly the number, but I'm pretty sure, close to 100 or over 100 voters. There's a lot.
Mhm.
Like this guy that Shane was talking about, Tom Fernelli, has a vote. Like, and he's a guy on a podcast. I mean, he's pretty
And
well known.
everybody who's ever won the Heisman has a vote too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick. I didn't know.
Oh yeah,
that.
that's also true.
Yeah.
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 So think about like, okay, these guys are in the NFL. How many college games a week are they watching?
Yeah.
And how
I
many?
think there must be a lot of bias with that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure, like like guys that don't watch it definitely go. Like if they're guys in the name, like if Tim Tebow, let's say, obviously I know he covered college football at one point, but
Right.
Tim Tebow, let's say he didn't watch games
He's
last
voting
year.
for Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask is in the conversation.
100%.
Obviously, he's going to go with his boy.
100%. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We need to get. I don't know who we need to talk to at the NCAA, but we need to get a Nothing But Controversy podcast vote. Shayna and Cam, you can make the final call, but
Also coming back, returning this year for Georgia is Cook, their running back. Dalvin Cook's brother, actually. Bro, he's a beast, man. He's obviously not who Dalvin Cook was in college, but at running back, he's a beast. He's going to help JT Daniels in games, give him some at least have a run game. And
It's a
open up that
1-2 punch,
offense.
man.
Yeah,
Him and Zamir White are
bro. Georgia's always been great, filled with running backs, and that's going to continue this year.
RBU.
Might be, bro. They're definitely at the top of the list, Especially now they got like a couple guys, more guys coming in. Their guys are young. Like Bama's probably RBU, but Bama's guys are older. Like Georgia's got some young guys. Like Todd Gurley. I know as much as Todd Gurley's not signed right now. Todd Gurley's only like 26 right now, and he's leading that RBU conversation.
Yeah, DeAndre.
I just saw today he's 27 and unsigned.
Yeah,
like that is ridiculous.
Gurley's unsigned still.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's like rumors because he worked out for the Ravens. Now that JK's hurt, like there's rumors that maybe Gurley goes there. But apparently the Ravens came out and said, no, they're not going to sign him right now. But then the Rams also said they weren't going to add a running back and then traded for Sony Michel. So, but we'll see.
So is Gus the guy in Baltimore?
I love Gus, bro. Gus is now – I've always thought Gus should have gotten a chance. They also have
Justice Hill.
He's a speed back that came out 2 years ago from Oklahoma State. So when they, that change of pace, when they get Lamar running on the outside, they get Hill in the backfield with him. And it's that speed option that we all used to run in NCAA. That shit with Lamar in real life is going to be like a video game.
Yeah, that's deadly. That's deadly. All right. And I know, Liam, you don't have necessarily a favorite team. Let's call UConn your favorite team. In terms of your favorite teams, what are you guys thinking going into week one? Just talk about their week one matchup. Like,
obviously they're playing okay, go ahead.
It's going to be quick. Washington Huskies are playing Montana. It's probably their easiest game of the year, I would say. So I don't think much of a competition. It'll good to let Dylan Morris settle in, but I'm not too nervous. Well, I'm not nervous at all for that game. They play whenever the 4th is. I think that's Saturday. Yeah, so they'll play Saturday, take care of business.
My thing was with Washington is why is Washington games always at like 10 p.m.
Because they're on the
It's
West
either
Coast.
10. It's
Every-
either 10 p.m. or 11 a.m.
Yeah, every
Nothing in
year,
between.
every year.
I mean, they are on the West Coast, but
I know, but still,
yeah. But
like you see teams getting like 1 o'clock games on the West Coast. Like,
yeah, I know.
No, the West Coast games they play early or late before because the heat is like crazy
Yeah.
at this time of year.
fair enough, fair enough.
Like that's why Fresno and UConn played at, or Fresno State, they played at 11 a.m. because, and even look, by the third quarter it was fucking 120 on the turf. Like
Ridiculous.
if the game had only started at that time, they would have been fucked.
Oh yeah, but I would love for Washington to just go up huge, sit Dylan Morris, and see if we can get that 5-star lefty freshman in the game, Sam Heward. I would love to see that. I watched his spring camp tape again today. It was okay, but I don't love lefty quarterbacks. But it would be sick to see him in a game in his first game, but I doubt it.
Also, one of my favorite college football players just transferred to Washington. Okie Radley-Hiles. I like him. A little bit undisciplined, but I think you'll like him, Dawson.
Yeah, because you and I spoke about it on the podcast last week, I think, and I just googled his name to like read up on stuff, and all of it was like from clips last year. I think he cost OU a game last year with a penalty or something. Like
I feel like he does that like every year. Like he's got that one game every year where it's like it's his fault. Like
yeah.
He's very he's an emotional player.
But when he's on, bro, he's a dog. He's a dog. Like wasn't he? I think me and Cam talked about it. I'm pretty sure he was like a 5-star coming out of high school. Or something.
He was committed to Nebraska for like a long time, and then last minute flipped to OU, and then
I'm pretty sure he was a receiver out of high school.
He was playing both ways. Like he was a ATH. But
yeah, I'm excited. Really good O-line, well, probably top 10 O-line in the nation, and then deep running back room. I'm excited for the year. Liam, talk about UConn.
Obviously tough start to the season last week. Honestly, I think it just came down to the fact that they played a team that was much better than they were. But anyways, to move on from last week, I don't want to spend too much time on it because there's not much to talk about. This week they're playing Holy Cross. It's a chance to bounce back, and finally play a team that's probably more on their level, more on their, a lot more competitive game. And I'm excited to see what they can do this week. Hopefully get their first W of the season and get it rolling. So excited for Saturday.
Cam. Tulane.
Yeah, so Oklahoma's playing Tulane this week. Nothing crazy to say. Tulane's a respected opponent, I guess. I'll still take Oklahoma by three plus scores, but
by 300.
Yeah,
especially if Butler's getting going.
Yeah, crazy week though. Obviously, Hurricane Ida is hitting New Orleans or about to. Or, anyways, Tulane plays very close to there. The game was supposed to be at their stadium. Just got moved today, actually, to Norman. But Tulane's gonna collect all the profits.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Not that it really makes a difference because Oklahoma was never expecting it, and they get a free home game. But kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting. But
I'm sure Oklahoma
gets
sells a lot more tickets than Tulane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Nice.
But Oklahoma gets to play in front of their fans week one unexpectedly. I know the defense is fired up, and everyone likes to shit on Big 12 and how they don't play defense, but I'm excited for this year's defense. Alex Grinch has really turned it around the last couple of years. I don't know what's going to happen in this conference. I really, truly don't. I won't even try to predict what happens, but I do think Oklahoma has a good shot of winning this week. If they don't take care of business this week, well, just throw everything I said out the window.
How much do you think losing Ronnie hurts the defense, though? You think it actually like hurts? Obviously, it hurts because it's Ronnie, but how much do you think that actually affects it? Because that defense flies around the field, bro.
Yeah, they're still like I said last week. I think they're somewhere in the top 5 for like D-line preseason. Like they still got Perrion Winfrey up the middle. He's like an early first round projection. As a D tackle, he's a gorilla, man. He's a machine in the middle. And then they still have Nick Benito, He's insane off the edge, and I forget who the other couple guys are. They have like very generic names, so it's not like the easiest thing to remember off the top of your head. But yeah, that defense is going to be fine. Trey Norwood's a big loss. He's balling for Pittsburgh now as a UDFA, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited though. I obviously it sucks losing Ronnie Perkins. I said he was one of the biggest steals of the draft. I actually said he was my favorite pick for the Pats, and he balled out in the preseason. So
So did Stevenson. So did your boy, bro.
yeah,
He was
facts.
balling.
Dude.
He was
is
balling.
balling.
The
That's another
Oklahoma
thing.
New England pipeline.
That's another thing I like
love
about Washington too. On offense, they returned like 97% of their productivity from last year, or no, from their last season. And then on defense, they returned like 79%, which is like 50th in the nation. But no, they returned a lot of guys, so I'm pumped for that. And Shaner, the Florida Gators playing FAU.
Boys, I'm excited, man. After that year, the way it ended last year, losing to Bama in the SEC championship the way they did, and Marco Wilson throwing that goddamn cleat, that is the reason that we didn't have a chance to play play in the college football or have a chance to even talk about being in the college football. He's gone. He's in the NFL. So hopefully everybody in that locker room learned not to throw a goddamn cleat in a close game for random reasons that no one knows why he threw the cleat. But, obviously Kyle Trask is gone. Finished top 4 in Heisman last year. I'm excited for Emory Jones, man.
Yeah.
He brings a new dynamic to this offense. Obviously, the running ability that Kyle Trask didn't have. So I think it allows Dan Mullins to open up that playbook a little more. Obviously, he's not the passer that Trask is, but if you're starting in college football for a team that's as big as Florida is, obviously you could still sling a rock. I'm excited for Jacob Copeland too. He's been in the receiver room for a couple of years now. Learned from a lot of guys. We had a lot of guys move on too. Kadarius Toney, obviously, Kyle Pitts, Grimes left too, undrafted free agent for the Eagles.
Who was cut, unfortunately.
Good. Not good, because I want to see him play, but I don't want him to be with the Eagles.
He was injured, though. So
Yeah.
they cut him. I don't think anyone picked him up.
But he's a big guy. He's a 6'4" jump ball receiver. He'll get his chance. But no, Jacob Copeland coming in as the number 1 receiver. Obviously, they have Shorter, who transferred last year from Penn State. So, I'm excited for those 2 guys to get going. Defensively, Kyer Elam is he's a dog, bro. Right now, he's a projected top 10 pick in the NFL. Number 2 corner behind Derek Stingley. So, that defense we all saw last year was not very good. It was not. But maybe with the experience coming in, behind that defense, we'll put up a few wins here and maybe get our chance in the playoffs. I'm not banking on that, but I'm hopeful.
That's what I was gonna say. Is how much of a chance do you give that defense, especially like knowing that there's teams in the SEC with like loaded offenses?
Look, honestly, it's not that I'm gonna worry about the defense. Doesn't matter, but it's the offense. If Emory Jones gets going, like they've been saying, he's getting going. There's a chance they could put up the points they put up last year, and if they do that, I think they have a chance. Because the defense had a few guys coming back. The D line off the edge, they're solid off the edge with Brian Cox and Zachary Carter. So I like them off the edge. Linebacking core is, it is what it is. And the DBs is pretty much all Elam. They lost Marco Wilson, like I said. They lost Sean Davis, who, as much as Dawson says, is getting burnt too much.
So let me clarify that. I was about to say, the Colts have 2 Sean Davises on the roster.
Yeah.
They cut the vet today.
They cut the vet. I got confused.
Okay.
Because there's like Sean Sean, and then there's Sean like Shaun. Shaun is the Florida Gator guy, and he's been fine through camp. But Sean Davis Sean is the one who's dropping all the picks and shit.
But yeah,
motherfucker.
No, he's also dropping his bags off in their room and heading off back home because
he's dropping that iPad off at fucking coach's house.
Oh, he got cut with his dick out.
Tanner Marsh.
But no, look, like Ventrell Miller running that defense at the linebacker position. I have some faith, more faith than I did last year. Like I said, Brenton Cox off the edge. That's my boy. I was happy that he came back because I would have been very sad had he transferred or left. But we'll see what the DBs do because as far as I'm concerned, Kyer Elam is not going to get the ball thrown to him, and the other corner is probably going to get picked on. So we'll see what happens.
And, typically we would jump to Matt in this case for him to talk about Alabama, but unfortunately he's not here. He's actually a contestant on The Bachelor. Not here this week. So he's not here to talk about Alabama, unfortunately. But with that
I don't
said,
think it's unfortunate. I think it's very fortunate that he's not here to talk about Alabama.
Like, oh, we're going to win the national championship. No shit. Like, I remember we all went to, I think it was all of us. After one of our flag football games, we went to a bar here to watch Tyson Fury versus who was it?
Deontay Wilder too.
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
And Matt was like, "Oh, Deontay Wilder's like probably my favorite fighter of all time." And one of our friends, Liam Fahey, shout out to you, fan of the show, looks at Matt and he says, "Matt, why is it just that your favorite of all time just always happens to be the greatest of all time?" And it just fucking killed me. Like, you always just like the best ones ever,
bro. Like, that's bad. It's true. It's true.
Did nice.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Patriots fan, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
Every other sport though. Oof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Raps Nation, Blue Jays.
True.
Bayern's nice though. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fair.
That's enough college football talk for the next 30 seconds. We'll run an intro. We'll run the question of the week intro, then we'll talk more college football.
I know we're talking about college football, but I have to bring this up.
Ooh.
I have to bring this up. KK, boys.
Oh, yeah.
KK. Jesperi Kotkaniemi was offer sheeted, 6.1 mil for 1 year.
Nope.
I mean, I don't know what y'all's opinion on it.
I'm not matching that shit.
But the Habs can still work out a contract. Like, the Habs don't have to match that offer. The Habs can still give him like a contract that like is the contract they want to give him.
But he can refuse it.
Which if he's smart, I mean, if I'm getting 6.1 when I'm worth about 2.5, I'm not signing anything else. But bro, if that's what he's getting, see ya. Get that first.
I agree. But very quickly, I read a thing that said if Carolina ends up signing him at 6.1, they have to re-qualify him at 6.1 next offseason unless they agree to an extension like during the year.
And did you see what his signing bonus was?
Was it $20 again?
$20.
Oh, they also put 6.1, and at the end of all those zeros, put $15 for KK's number.
So like technically, it's, but a lot of players are doing. They did that with Svechnikov also. At the end, it was 37 for Svechnikov.
Okay.
Carter Hart was the same thing. Carter Hart got 79 at the end of his. Like, a lot of players are starting to do that. I don't know what it is, but yeah, bro, I'm going to take that first and third, and I'm going to flip it for a better center than Kotkaniemi.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Or I'm going to package that first and third for Jack Eichel with whatever else I was giving up. Evgeny Kuznetsov, whoever the hell you wanted. I'm adding that first and third to the offer.
Like, if we wanted to trade KK for a first, we wouldn't be able to. I don't get it. Like, I don't get what Carolina's doing.
Like, as much as it sucks because it's going to be a late first-round pick, there's always teams wanting first-round picks.
Fuck yeah.
Like, here you go, Buffalo. You can take both our first-round picks next year and whatever the hell you want that's not Caulfield and Suzuki, and give us Eichel.
Yeah, literally, I would sell out for Eichel at this point, especially if we lose KK. If I'm Bergevin the Habs, just sell out, fucking package as much as you can while protecting the young core. And, hey, maybe we could land one of the better centers in the NHL.
Boys, Eric Engels set Twitter on fire Saturday.
I did see that.
On fire, because he said he didn't know what the reason was, but for whatever reason he tweeted, he's like, by the way, Jack Eichel just boarded a plane to Montreal with his hockey stick.
Yeah, he's there for a BioSteel event.
Yeah, but he didn't know that at the time and tweeted that, and Twitter blew up. The Habs fans were freaking out. Bastard.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
A lot of people calling him out for bad reporting too.
Maybe he just walks into Bergevin on the street and says, "Hey, come get me," and then he stays in Montreal. You never know.
Fuck! Imagine we get Jack Eichel.
I will run through the streets.
Like, we haven't been alive and have a superstar like that. Like, we've never had a superstar like that since we've watched the Habs.
Except for, like, I'll give, like, Kovalev. Because
that's what I was going to say. Kovalev,
absolutely disgusting. But
yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to bring up quickly.
Oh, LBS just got cut off hard.
Sorry, we're talking about
No.
talking about college football, going back to college. Shout out to J.R. Smith.
Oh
Went
yeah,
back,
big
Yeah.
golf
playing
guy.
some college
Yeah.
golf.
Bro. His tweets kill
Yeah.
me.
His tweets kill me. He's a fucking multimillionaire. Probably made like $200 million worth of contracts in the NBA, and he's tweeting like, "Oh, I'm staying up late working on my thesis or whatever." He's like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
today he tweeted like, "Back on my study grind. I'm not gonna let 1 week
Yeah, I saw that.
affect me and have a terrible."
Bro, he tweeted something. He's like, up at 5 a.m. Gotta grind and shit. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. he killed me.
Imagine we tweeted shit like that when we're in school.
It'd
It'd just be hilarious.
Bro, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
just
This
so
guy's
funny
blowing
that
up
we post
because
some
he's
shit
a
like
famous athlete. But like,
Maybe we should
imagine,
try
like,
it.
yeah, imagine like
Yeah.
from the NBC account, us just tweeting, "Oh, tough day at school, boys. Got to regroup tomorrow." And like everybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
I will say though, since going back to college, he's been a great follow on social media.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
like it's just good vibes.
Mhm.
Like he's funny, you know. He seems like
Yeah.
he's just being real, down to earth. It's extremely relatable. Like, anyone who's in college or university relates
the
to
thing
what
is-
he's saying.
he's smart about it because he's using his platform to like connect with like all the students out there, and it's like working, right? So
He's
smart.
also going to the PGA, so pretty cool.
Bro, imagine you walk out for a golf tournament and playing with you is J.R. Smith.
Shirtless.
Yeah, literally.
Shirtless J.R. Smith.
Shirtless, and he's got Henny in his bag.
Can you just imagine all the memes? The second he hits the links and he like hits it wide of the green, and there's just LeBron like
Oh my god.
pointing towards the green and shit.
Oh man.
Oh fuck. But yeah, Liam, you've been wanting to talk. What's your
Yes.
story?
Yes, come on. I can't believe we haven't brought it up yet. IMG Academy, the high school football team, played Bishop Sycamore, which has existed for, I think, 3 days.
I was about to bring that up too.
Yeah. Don't know how ESPN let that one happen, but I heard that Bishop Sycamore fielded a team full of JUCO dropouts and
Not high school age.
tried to play. No, older. And tried to play one of the best. Tried to play one of the best high school teams in the nation, and pretty much backfired. I saw a clip of the ESPN broadcast, and I think it was like 3 minutes into the second quarter, they were already talking about how like they're worried for Bishop Sycamore's players, how they're gonna like they're not enough players on the team. This is like the skill gap was just insane apparently. So this is crazy, and they were in a nationally televised game. So
That's so bad.
How
man.
did
That's just
ESPN let that
hilarious.
happen?
that's
That's
what I'm
so
saying.
funny.
Like,
How does IMG let that happen? Like,
Yeah, that
yeah,
too.
how does anyone let that happen? Like, great story though. I thought this was
Oh,
a great.
so funny.
it's embarrassing on all
point.
fronts.
And apparently
Yeah.
their coach has an active arrest warrant. Bishop Sycamore's head coach
Yeah,
has an
yeah.
active arrest warrant.
I was
Hell
right.
yeah.
You know, before you said that, and I'm happy you just did say that because I was just gonna say how the story, the more you read up on it, like
The
the
deep-
worse it gets.
Crazier
Like it
gets,
just
yeah.
like it's one thing after another of like, I don't believe this. And then it's here's something even worse.
Yeah.
Oh, no way that's true. And then
So good.
and it just keeps going and going. Like every other minute here all day I've heard something more retarded about this.
Oh yeah. So good.
This has to be turned into a movie or something.
That's what
would
all the
love to
comments were
watch
like, this documentary
Yeah.
is gonna be fucking fire.
that. Yeah,
30
yeah.
for 30.
Yeah, 30 for 30 on
Fire
Bishop
festival.
Sycamore.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if they're gonna do a 30 for 30.
Also, if you're gonna make up a
Exactly.
school name, banger name, Bishop Sycamore.
Oh yeah,
Kinda
they
fire.
killed it. They fucking killed it.
Killed it.
The
When I
jerseys
first saw
look
that this
legit,
like
too. It was
wasn't a
sick.
school, I was like, this is for sure a school. What are you guys talking
Yeah.
about? And I
This is
started
like a
reading,
school
and I
in
was like,
Maryland or something, Bishop Sycamore.
Mm.
Oh man.
unfortunately not.
Anyways,
Have we spoken enough about sports this week?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think so.
Good to go. Let's move on to the question of the week. Like I said, Matt's not here. He's pursuing his dream of becoming a wedding photographer. He's on a resort in Hawaii right now with a couple that hired him. But we are still here, and we have the question of the week. And our question of the week is a little two-parter. Okay, so first one is, what is your expectation or your safe bet for your Heisman winner? And then what's your dark horse? Who I should say, who is your dark horse Heisman winner? I'll start. I know I said Cam would start, but I'll start because I have them listed here. And speaking of Cam, I think he's going to be happy with my lock. The betting favorite at this time, Mr. Spencer Rattler. I'll let Cam do the deep dive into why he's going to win the Heisman because I'm sure that's his bet too. But I have him for my lock Heisman. And then my dark horse, my favorite college football quarterback right now, not because he's the best, just because I love the way he plays. I really like the team he's on. A little preview of my top 5. But I have Des Ridder out of Cincinnati. He's right now he's plus 4,000 to win the Heisman. But
Love it.
he balled the fuck out last year.
He's disgusting, bro.
He had the season of his life. He's disgusting.
Projected first round pick right now. Like,
yeah. So he's my dark horse. I wouldn't be surprised if by midseason his odds are closer to the 1,000 to 2,000 mark. But yeah, Des Ridder, my dark horse Heisman.
Yeah,
I love that. Oh,
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say because I also have Rattler as my favorite. I think if OU is going to be a top 2 team this year, he's going to be a large part in due of that, and just an easy pick, odds-on favorite right now. My dark horse, Derek King, especially maybe if he puts on a show week 1 and continue if he plays obviously, and continues that on throughout the year, he could definitely jump up there and maybe steal a Heisman from one of the odds-on favorites. So those are my 2 guys.
Cam, before we start recording, and just now Liam mentioned it that Derek King might not start week 1. Who's the quarterback controversy with right now?
And Cozy Perry, I'm pretty sure still there.
Okay.
He was supposed to transfer, then he went back, then he was supposed to transfer again, and then he went back. So I'm pretty sure he's the backup right now. Should be.
It's not a controversy though, just because he tore his ACL in their bowl game like in December, so he might not be ready to go.
Right.
But
I'll be wrong. I think he's still there, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, I think he did go back. We spoke about that for a while. I remember when that was all going down, I was pretty confused.
All right, Cam, tell me why Spencer Rattler is going to win the Heisman.
Yeah, I hate being biased, but
you have the right to be.
It's hard. It's hard not to be here.
Before you go, the backup is Tyler Van Dyke. If Derek King doesn't go, he goes. He's a freshman.
Oh man.
Yeah. Both backups are freshmen.
Damn.
Jake Garcia is also a freshman.
Cousin of Jeff Garcia.
Anyway, sorry, Cam. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Like I said, I hate being biased, but it's kind of hard not to be, especially preseason. Matt's not a fan apparently, but good thing he's in Hawaii this week because I think Spencer Rattler will win the Heisman this year. At least right now, barring any injuries. They're returning all the receivers he played with last year.
Except for Rambo.
Rambo wasn't on the squad last year, was he? He really?
Didn't really play that
I
much.
don't know what happened with him, but he was.
And Cozy Perry's transferred to FAU.
So he's off the map.
Fucker.
He's gone. We'll never hear about him again.
We'll hear about him on Saturday when I'm complaining.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But no, yeah, they're returning Jaden Hazelwood, Theo Weiss, and a guy who's might sneak in as the best receiver Oklahoma's ever seen. In Marvin Mims, he might break catches and yards record.
Mims is gross. Bro.
Any relation to Denzel?
No, they're not. There's no relation. No. I thought there was. They might be cousins, but they're not like brothers. Not close. No.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's 2 running backs coming back in Kennedy Brooks and they have Jeremiah Hall tight end / receiver, but there's another back. I know Marcus Major's out for the year.
They got that 5-star guy, no?
Academic reasons. They do have a 5-star, but he's coming in as RB3. Eric Gray. Anyways, they've got a few backs. That offense is going to be extremely productive. Lincoln Riley is one of the best offensive minds in the nation. So, listen, he threw a lot of picks last year. Couldn't get it done in a few big situations, but I think he turns out around this year. Honestly, not really a doubt. Staying in the Big 12, my dark horse, Bijan Robinson. I hate Texas with all my guts, but Bijan Robinson is nice. He had a crazy good year last year. Texas always has a huge, very helpful O-line, so I think he keeps that going. They have a freshman quarterback, so he's going to get a lot of touches. Not much else to say. I really hate Texas, so I'm going to puke soon if I keep talking. But yeah, he's my dark horse.
All right. Heisman favorite, unanimous here, boys. Woo! Spencer Rattler, probably going to be the first overall pick in next year's draft. The thing Cam touched on last year, right there, was the picks for Rattler. I think he's cleaned that up too. Look, he's a gunslinger. He's going to go out there. He's looking for that big play. He doesn't give a shit if he throws the pick, to be honest. But he's going to put up 50 touchdowns probably. He's going to put up, 4,000 yards passing.
Yeah.
You just have to deal with those interceptions. That offense damn well could be the best offense in the nation this year. We've seen Lincoln Riley's success with quarterbacks. Obviously, Baker and Kyler going back-to-back with the Heisman. Jalen Hurts finishing in the top 3 the next year. It speaks for itself what Lincoln Riley can do with the quarterbacks. Maybe the best quarterback developer in NCAA right now as a head coach. I know every offseason everybody says he's going to the NFL, and it's just like he refuses to go. So if you're sought after by the biggest league in sports, then obviously you're doing something right. And Spencer Rattler's got that experience under Lincoln Riley, played last year. So it's only uphill from here. My dark horse, we got Breece Hall. Last year, to me, he's a top 3 running back in college football right now. Last year, top 2,000. He's him and Brock Purdy are leading that offense, and it's about time. Running back get some love.
Love that. I love that. Boys, it's time to move on to our bold prediction. We won't call it of the week. We'll call it our bold prediction of the 2021 NCAA season. That rolls off the tongue. Roll the intro. So jumping into our lock of the week, again, it's only going to be 4. Unfortunately, our friend Matthew was kidnapped this past weekend. We're still looking for him. Nothing But Controversy is personally offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to the capture of Matthew Campbell. But in terms of our lock of the season, we'll call it.
Bold prediction of the season.
Oh, sorry. Bold prediction of the season.
Oh, shit. We're doing
this changes what I was about to say. God damn it. This one is full of bias. Absolutely. As I expect yours to be. So last week's episode, my bold prediction was the Washington Huskies will finish top 10 in the end of season college football rankings. But my bold prediction this week is that the Washington Huskies will actually go 12-0. Okay. They do have some challenging games. The challenging games start week 2. They play at Michigan. I don't know how good Michigan's going to be this year. I don't know if you guys have any. I spoke to Cam. You don't think they're going to be that great?
No. They'll underperform like every other year.
Absolutely.
They're starting Cade McNamara at quarterback. I didn't hate him coming out of high school, but don't think he's going to lead a 12-0 season or a Big Ten championship season. No. I hope he proves me wrong, though.
But yeah, anyways. Their challenging games are going to be at Michigan, at Arizona, at Stanford, at home versus Oregon, and then at Colorado. And obviously the biggest challenge there, I think, has to be at versus Oregon at home. But my prediction is they're going to go 12-0. Maybe sneak into the top 5. Maybe sneak into the college football playoff at 12-0. Yeah.
Party at Dawson's house if they make it to the college football
pizza
playoff.
Party at Dawson's house.
Oh, yeah.
Bet.
Count me in.
Liam, let's hear it.
All right. Yeah, similar to Dawson, I'm sticking to the Pac-12 here. My bold prediction is that UCLA will win the Pac-12.
Oh,
Listen.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wow is right.
I like
Wow is right. There's not much knowledge behind this. All right, I'll be honest. Okay. I was looking at the odds. It looks pretty wide open at the top, the first 2, 3, 4 teams. You know, I saw USC and Oregon coming in at like exact same odds. Washington's up there as well. And I saw UCLA at plus 1,100 or plus 1,200. And I was like, you know what? This is too much. This is too much value. This is
Too much juice.
Too much value to pass. Too much juice to pass up on. Our boy DTR is gonna go crazy this year. Don't they have the Michigan transfer, the running back at UCLA now this year?
I don't know.
I forget his name. Sharp.
Yeah, Zach Sharping had 6
yeah.
carries for 106 yards on Saturday.
Right, and this is his
touchdowns.
first season at UCLA, right?
Pardon me?
I believe. Is this his
He's
first
been
season
at
at
Michigan.
UCLA?
He's been at Michigan.
Right, yeah. So I'm excited to see what that dynamic duo can do this year, and you know what? Maybe that could lead them to a Pac-12 championship.
I don't think
So there you go.
Honestly,
That's why it's bold, baby.
I was gonna ride with that one too. I like that. I was thinking about that.
I'm going even crazier just for the
So
sake
I'm not
of,
crazy.
I'm going absolutely crazy just for the sake of going crazy.
Oh no.
And Loki, I didn't realize how much bias was going to be in this until I just looked at their roster again to make sure like what I was saying had some substance. The Utah Utes will win the Pac-12.
Wow.
Hear me out. There's a Big 12 reunion going on over there. And there's one guy I forgot about. Charlie Brewer, former Baylor Bears quarterback.
Starting.
Huge baller. He's starting down there in Utah. And they've kind of had a pretty good team the last few years. They had Tyler Huntley. He's now with Baltimore balling out. Obviously, it's preseason. He's a backup quarterback, but still. They've been sneaky good. Now they had Charlie Brewer, which will definitely help. TJ Pledger was a running back at Oklahoma. One of my favorite guys.
I wanted that guy too. I was pissed.
Yeah, he's one of the best guys to strap up at OU. Very versatile. He joins them in that running back room that's pretty loaded as well. And then a receiver. They got Theo Howard from Oklahoma as well. Sneaky guy. Deep room at Oklahoma. Someone had to go. He found his way out. Made it to Utah. He joins. They have Jalen Dixon, who didn't play last year, but he's kind of a big name. He actually entered the transfer portal and then said, "Fuck it, I'm going back to Utah." So we'll see what he can do there. And then they have Britton Covey, who had good production last year. So I don't know. I just see that team being able to put up a lot of points. And, you know, it's a Pac-12. There's a lot of madness all the time, a lot of high-scoring games. So I could see them making a run at it. They're coming in ranked in the top 25. So we'll see.
All right, listen. I brought 2 bold predictions here. I have one for this week and one for the season. I'm gonna say the one for this week because I have to build up the strength to say what I'm gonna say for my season bold prediction because it's gonna pain me to talk about. But for this week, this kicks off with LBS here. UCLA is gonna beat LSU this week.
That's what I had as my bold before. Yeah.
UCLA is going to beat LSU. I like what LBS said about them possibly winning that conference.
Fuck you.
But the season one, this one pains me to say. This one really hurts me to say. You know how much I hate the U. Everybody knows how much I hate the U. I can't stand them. They're a bunch of pansies. But
they're going to win the ACC?
No. Eric King is going to finish top 4 in Heisman votes.
Okay.
That's more along the lines of what I thought you would say.
Eric King, I liked him at Houston. I was very upset when he went to the U.
I was upset when we showed up to a game at UConn, and that was the week that Derek King redshirted.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that. But yeah, Derek King has always been disgusting. I thought last year he could have been in the conversation. But this year I'm gonna say it to everybody. Derek King, top 4 Heisman.
Okay.
Also, just to talk about my bold prediction, Utah was in the Pac-12 championship game last year. Just so everyone's aware. Okay, I'm not that crazy.
They were. No, they were.
You're the one that
Shout out to
hyped it up.
Shout out to my favorite Utah Ute alumni, Julian Blackman.
Oh,
Safety, my guy. Disgusting.
He is gross.
Yeah. Boys, that does it for our our bold prediction of the 2021 NCAA season. We are now going to move on to one of the fan favorites, this or that. Now, because Matt just has a new girlfriend and took her on a all expenses paid 6-month vacation to Hawaii, Cam is going to be hosting this or that this week. Cam, I'll let you take her away.
Hold
yeah.
on. I don't have an eraser.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties. Sorry, boys.
It's the college football preview episode. So
We're obviously talking about European soccer.
yeah, of course.
Ronaldo.
Bayern Munich
Messi.
or Borussia
Messi.
Dortmund. Yeah, Messi or Ronaldo? No. In all seriousness, we're going with the college football edition. We're going with offensive players. Who will have the better season? And I'm gonna do it TSN quiz style. You guys can go off the board if you don't like my two choices.
Ooh.
I like that.
So let's start her off. Oh, and the last one. There's only 4. We're keeping it short and sweet. The last one is you can take it as a national championship team winner, or you can take it as who has the better season. Up to you guys. But the quarterback question: Spencer Rattler or Sam Howell or other? Who has the best?
better?
Yeah.
I mean,
Light work. We just spoke about it.
yeah. We kind of
Let's lift her in 3, 2, 1, ladies and gents. Okay. I have Spencer Rattler. Shane has Spencer Rattler. Cam has Spencer Rattler. And Liam has Heisman. I don't know if there's a player I don't know about named
whoever
Heisman.
wins the Heisman had the best quarterback year.
I'll go first very quickly. Like Shane said, Spencer Rattler is a gunslinger. He does not care about taking risk. He does not care about throwing the interceptions. And to be completely honest, I don't think he's going to throw many this year. And I think he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns, like Shane said. And that just means touchdowns equals Heisman. Let's be real. So Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I think both guys are going to put up crazy numbers, but Rattler's going to edge him out. And he was our Heisman pick, so easy choice for me.
Yeah, not to take anything away from Sam Howell. I think I spoke about this briefly last week. Listen, he's a guy that can carry an offense, no doubt about that, but he's losing Daz Newsome and both of his star running backs. So it's not an easy task. I think they'll have a few bumps in the road early. Could cost him a few yards and touchdowns. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm still pulling for him. I love that guy, but I think, yeah, like you guys said, I think of all the big name quarterbacks this year, Oklahoma probably has the least dependent running game. So yeah, I just see the ball being in Rattler's hands a lot.
I think Cam just made all these questions so that we can gas up Spencer Rattler.
Honestly, I didn't really think it through. I wrote it down as we were prepping, but
I don't have anything to say. I'm tired of talking about Spencer Rattler. I love the guy, but there's only so many times I can repeat everything I've said about Rattler.
Fair enough. All right. The running back question. Sticking in the Big 12, but there's some big names other than these two. Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, or other?
I'm just telling you guys in advance. I'm not justifying my answer because I don't know enough about these guys.
Okay, LBS.
LBS lone wolfener. Yeah, like I said,
Okay.
I have Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have Breece Hall. Cam has Breece Hall. Shane has Breece Hall. And Liam has B-Rob.
Yeah, only reason why I went with him is I don't know much about him. I do know last year he split. I know he wasn't, the lead guy, or he was splitting time with another running back. I forget who it was. but I saw he still rushed for 700 yards on a very small sample. I saw he was rushing his average yards per carry was 8.2 or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I could see that. I could see those numbers only getting better. Obviously, maybe not the average yards, but with a bigger sample size, I could see him putting up crazy numbers. And as you said earlier, Texas always has a solid O-line, and they're probably going to depend on the run game this year. So hey, maybe he's that's why I went with him. That's it.
Yeah, I said Bijan Robinson as my dark horse Heisman guy. As much as I think that's possible, Brees Hall to me, like he's got that Jonathan Taylor in him. Like he's bound for a repeat season. I don't even mean to compare them at all, but I just like Jonathan Taylor was insane in college. He did it year after year. I think Brees Hall is going to do the exact same thing this year and find his way to the NFL. But yeah, nothing to add. It's just they're loaded on offense. They very well could be a top 5 team by the end of the year. So we'll see. But yeah, I love Brees Hall.
Brees Hall is a different animal, man. Different animal. You can do everything in your offense. And at a certain point, he might very well be that offense. If they need a big play, Brees Hall's the guy they go to. He's coming back. He's got his quarterback with him, the guy you trust. Obviously, you talked about Texas having a different quarterback this year, kind of a new offense, new head coach too. They had to rebuild that offense, new playbook. So I'm going to go with the guy who's comfortable in his system. He's returning, so I'm going to go with Brees Hall, the guy I had as the dark horse for the Heisman.
I love it.
All right, this one a lot more open-ended and hopefully a little bit more debate. The receiver question: George Pickens, Chris Olave, or other?
Locked in.
I don't know if I spelled his name right, but it's all good.
Let's lift them up, boys, in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, the Canadian.
Wait, I didn't see. Cam, who did everyone have?
Me and LBS had George Pickens, Shane had Garrett Wilson, and you had John Mechie.
Oh, Canada, boys. Oh, Canada.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say. Oh,
I like
Canada.
all 3 answers.
Yeah. No, I'm pumped to
Honestly,
see Mechie.
Yeah, honestly, if I would have thought of Mechie, I might have put him down. But Pickens, obviously, JT Daniels back there throwing him the football. Not much else to say. He's bound to have a huge season and, be a major part of that Georgia offense. So,
yeah, he's a freak athlete. I really got to watching him when honestly, in their bowl game when they played Cincinnati, and he was electrifying. He's a big frame, but he moves well. He can go up and get it. He can catch it underneath and burn you. I really like his game. I think he's definitely like I don't know, maybe Olave, but to me, George Pickens is at the top of the food chain right now. He's not coming down until someone knocks him down.
I mean, you talked about Olave. I kind of see one of those things we saw with Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. Not the injury, obviously, to Waddle, but everybody's so focused on Olave like they were with Jalen Waddle that Garrett Wilson as that Devontae Smith role is gonna pop off because he's playing those number 2 corners. Obviously, Devontae Smith did end up playing the number 1 corners, but now everybody's so focused on Olave, and I was shocked when Olave went back to school. So maybe teams aren't preparing for Garrett Wilson as much as they should have been. A lot of people have Garrett Wilson as the number 1 receiver going into the next year's draft. I want to see him back that up, and that's why I put him at this, because it's more of I want to see it happen than I think it'll happen. And if it does happen, then yeah, he's definitely that number 1 receiver flying off the board next year. The only thing is, do I trust the QB situation not overly, but that's why you know every young quarterback has a security blanket, and with Olave probably getting double teamed, I think Garrett Wilson could be that security blanket.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The only thing that does worry me with Garrett Wilson and Mechie is unknown quarterback play, and obviously two guys who are 5 stars, so probably not much to worry about. Obviously Ryan Day, he's a producer. Like
Yeah,
he's not going into a season with a quarterback he doesn't trust with everything. So, and he's only been there for 2 years, but the work speaks for itself. So I don't think there's anything really to worry about. But George Pickens having JT Daniels back there, it's hard to go against that.
and the thing is, like Justin Fields had that connection with
Olave,
Olave,
yeah.
so maybe Garrett Wilson might be like, you know what, it's my turn. Like it's my turn to build a connection. Not to say he didn't have one with Fields, but now it's new quarterback coming in. You got to show it's a dogfight. You and Olave, you got to show. You got to put out. I don't know what happened in practice. I don't know who's the favorite receiver right now, but someone's got to show out for that young quarterback.
I see it. All right. And the last one. I put Clemson here, but I'm not 100% sure why. That top four is really a jungle juice, but Alabama or Clemson or other. And this is the final question. Let's just say national champion. I know we did that last week, so let's say
Roster.
most impressive season.
Okay.
Wait, most impressive? So I could put
best season, best record. Let's say best record.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
All righty. I'm good to lift, boys. Pains me to say. Not really, because I don't mind Bama, but
Ooh.
So I have Bama, Shane has Bama, Liam has Bama, and Cam has OSU. Nothing for me to say. It's a very safe bet. There's death, taxes, and Bama making the college football playoff. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I think undefeated season is very in the cards for them. It always is, I guess. But which is why they could also which is why they're locks to finish number one, or not locks but favorites, which is why I chose them as well.
Yeah, I had to lone wolf this one. I knew the Bama answers were coming. To me, I gotta check really quick because I'm not 100% sure here, but if Ohio State makes it through week 2 where they play Oregon, they're not really looking at another loss unless they get upset like they did 2 years ago against Purdue. But I don't trust the Big Ten this year. I know I said before the show it could go either way, but like we talked about Michigan, Penn State's still starting Sean Clifford, so goodbye to them. Minnesota,
I knew that was
good,
coming, bro. Cam hates Sean Clifford.
You know what? His brother is an absolute baller, though.
Isn't he? He's at Penn State now too, huh?
Yeah, I think they're from Ohio. His brother was a receiver, kick returner, punt returner. Absolute freak. He got Ohio State Player of the Year. So watch out for him. But Sean Clifford absolutely sucks, and I think Ohio State's gonna win the Big Ten. And I honestly don't see them losing. Alabama, yeah. Outside of Miami, they have A&M. Joe Milton is starting for Tennessee. That's just in today. Michigan transfer. So, but yeah, and then New Mexico State, Arkansas, Auburn. Yeah, I think you guys might be onto something.
I don't trust Bo Nix at Auburn, bro. I don't think he's the guy. But anyways, yeah, like you guys said, it's pretty much Bama. Bama's the lock every year. I'm excited to see, as much as I hate watching Bama, as much as I hate Bama, I'm excited to see Bryce Young and what he could do. Obviously, 1 year in that system on the bench. It helps when you have 5 stars backing up 5 stars. One guy goes down, you have 5 stars replacing him. But John Mechie, he's pretty much coming in as the number one right now. Waddle's gone. Devontae Smith's gone. So I'm excited to see what he could do. I think, maybe him and Bryce Young got something going there. And wouldn't be surprised if for the 18th year in a row, Bama has a first round receiver in John Mechie.
This is the first year in at least 3, probably 4 years I don't really recognize a lot of Bama names.
We'll get to by week.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
We're gonna know who everybody
course,
on Bama.
Of course, I'm not worried about it, but you know what I mean. It's last year was Najee Harris. They had Bo Scarborough.
They did have a big draft class though.
Yeah, of course,
a lot of guys.
Of course.
But like I said, they had 5 stars waiting in the wings. They're getting 5 stars on their bench when other teams can't even get a 5-star to start for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the Nick Saban guarantee is your ass is going to sit on the bench for 3 years, but that 4th year you better be ready to go because you're about to win a national championship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, without further ado, I guess that's not really the right thing to say, but this or that's wrapped up.
With all that ado,
yeah.
Let's move on to a really similar segment, I would say. It's going to be done a little differently today, but let's move on to Think Fast. Speaking of thinking fast, Matthew Campbell is not with us today because he's actually taken on a job in the Secret Service for President Joe Biden. They saw the podcast, they saw how quick he was on his toes, and they had to have him. So he's in Washington, D.C. right now. We're not sure when he'll be back, to be honest, but we salute Matt for his service and thank him so much. It's an absolute honor to do this show with you every week. But like I said, we're going to do this segment a little bit different. It's not going to be really thinking fast. We all know our answers beforehand, but we're going to go over our division or conference winners for this year in the NCAA. I'll list them off. I'll give my answer, and then I'll pass it along to the boys. Give some explanations again. Shane and Cam, you're going to be doing the bulk of the explaining here. But let's start off with the SEC. I think the easiest one, like we just mentioned, like we just spoke about for an hour and a half. I have Alabama. Not happy about it, but it's going to happen. I'm not going to give you some shitty hot take that fucking whoever is going to win the SEC. It's not going to happen. It's going to be Alabama, and they're going to do so fairly easily, as they do every year.
Hey, whoa. Last year there was some competition. I don't want to hear it.
You're right.
Hey, come on now. Show my boy some respect.
You are right.
Yeah, no hot takes from my corner either. Bama's winning the SEC. Not much to add.
Yeah, no, me either. Bama's gonna win the SEC. Don't see anyone else coming for them.
This answer hurts me more than the boys because I got a dog in this fight. Hopefully they'll be back in the championship game looking for revenge, but it's Bama. Bunch of assholes. Nothing more to say. It pains me. You can hear it in my voice how much it hurts that I can't say Florida. But it's got to be Bama, unfortunately.
All right. Well, that was fast. So we're living up to the segment name. Another one that I don't think will have too much debate. I doubt they will. The ACC. I got the Trevor Lawrence-less Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, so do I. I'm expecting another big season out of them, man. What else? What else is there to say? They're definitely gonna have a crazy year, and I don't really see anyone in the ACC competing with them. So.
Yeah, no. As badly as I want to say UNC here, they lost too many pieces for me. Like I said, I honestly really do enjoy watching Sam Howell playing. I think he's a great quarterback, but I don't know if they returned enough for him to repeat the same kind of year and to carry them to a big ACC championship. On the other hand, Clemson's returning a bunch of starters on defense. They have a quarterback they trust. They're getting Justin Ross back. Not much more to be said. They should run away with this. And no Notre Dame competing with them this year. So
facts.
True.
Yeah. Clemson again. I feel like every year we just it's pretty much locks. Bama, Clemson. No one else is going to step up. I don't think, unless there's a surprise team or maybe injuries derail Clemson. But when fully healthy, it's not close. It's Clemson. But, losing Trevor, obviously it hurts because he's the best QB prospect we've seen. But when you got I think DJ was a 5-star also. So when you got a 5-star coming in, the guy who's already been in your system for a year, it softens the blow.
Fine.
It softens the blow.
Yeah.
So Clemson, you're repeating. Did they?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get the third biggest lock out of the way. Who's going to win the Big 12?
Me.
Cam, you can't see it right now because your lighting is a little off, but right behind you, there's a flag. Oh, there she is.
And the Baker jersey.
The Oklahoma University,
Love it.
not the Spooners, the Sooners, are going to win. The
Oh,
Big 12.
my God. That was bad.
Imagine if they were called the Spooners.
That'd be fire. They would absolutely be my favorite team.
Their logo is just like two people in bed beside
just
each
me.
other.
Oh, man. Bro, I know a guy in high school whose his name was Drake, and his favorite team was Drake, the university.
Ooh.
I didn't even know they had a university until he told me.
Yeah, it's tough.
I didn't know they were a thing.
It's like your favorite university being Rice.
Facts.
Like that's bad.
Don't hate.
Damn, who's going to win the Big 12?
OU. Yes, sir. They're gonna have the future Heisman winner on their team. Cam went over their entire roster basically. And, we know they have a good one. So they're the winners of the Big 12 this year.
We know after this show, we know Oklahoma's backup long snapper. And I'm
Hey, wait. Oklahoma takes extreme pride in having, their holder, like there's there's position awards like every year.
yeah.
There's even one that goes to the pinner, like for field goals and stuff. And this
holder.
guy is,
Holder
he
of
might
the
have been like the fourth quarterback on the roster, but he was like all over Twitter, like advertising himself as the best pinner.
That's good.
So not something I would brag
Imagine
about.
getting drafted in the NFL in like the 7th round and being announced as a holder, like holder out of the University of Oklahoma.
Fuck no.
Won this award. No.
Hell no.
So yeah, Oklahoma's gonna win the Big 12. But listen, honestly, personally, I think it's a lock. But I'm also an Oklahoma fan, so it's a lot easier said than done. Iowa State's there. Texas is always kind of disappointing, but
Always.
yeah. But yeah, Iowa State's a really good team. Took Oklahoma to the Big 12 championship last year, and Oklahoma only won by a score. So they also beat them in the regular season. So that's going to be a good rivalry with a lot of guys coming back on both sides. Also, just to follow up from before, the two D linemen that I couldn't remember were Jordan Kelly and Isaiah Thomas. So doesn't get more common than that.
Yeah.
Two great guys though, huge ballers, but yeah, pretty generic names, hard to recall.
One of them also dropped.
Go, Liam, go.
Didn't one of them also drop 60 points in the NBA?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
OU's D tackle.
Yeah.
He's also like
Fucking
5'6".
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. But he's don't
That's
mistake.
so sick.
He's put on a lot of weight since that game.
And he grew. But I desperately want to say Texas just to fire Cam up here. But we all know I also do not like Texas, which I don't even know why. It doesn't even make sense. There's no correlation between Florida and Texas. But OU, Heisman winner Spencer Rattler puts on a show, and they go undefeated, and they win the national championship, and Cam's a happy man, and we no longer have to listen to Matt and Alabama fans. So, OU.
for 6 months or whatever.
Yeah, facts.
All right. This one, not much controversy. I might drop a little controversial bomb here. Who knows? But the Big Ten. Okay. Before the podcast started, this is completely what's justifying my decision. And before the podcast started, we couldn't figure out how to pronounce Ohio State quarterbacks or Ohio State quarterback CJ Stroud. We couldn't figure out how to pronounce his name. So for that reason,
Oh no.
I have Wisconsin winning the Big Ten.
Graham Mertz.
Okay. Again, if you don't know the quarterback's name, he's got something to prove. If Shane doesn't know how to pronounce your name, you have something to prove. And I don't know. I see Ohio State maybe with a little choke sesh this year. So I have Wisconsin winning the Big Ten.
Ooh.
Who's their quarterback?
I don't fucking know. But
Graham Mertz.
yeah, you can pronounce his name.
Graham
Well,
Mertz is good.
if there's another team that I know the quarterback of in the Big Ten, it's Illinois, and he's their backup too. So for that reason, I'm not going with Illinois. OSU is still going to win the Big Ten.
Who's their backup quarterback?
The guy who played.
I don't know his first name, but Sitkowski's his
Oh,
last name.
yeah.
Arthur.
Dotted Nebraska. Yeah, Arthur. Dotted up Nebraska.
Bro, Nebraska's
But
making.
yeah, they're still
Don't sleep.
they're still not winning the Big Ten.
Nebraska for the Big
Ohio
Ten. Boys.
State. Ohio State, yeah, it's the lock. Stroud and Olave and Wilson. There it is.
Hey, I'm glad you brought up Sikowski because he's a 1-year alum of the team that I picked to win the Big Ten.
Wow.
Hey, stop this.
You guys know I'm kidding.
Stop this madness.
Honestly, I wrote that down before Liam even said Sikowski, so it makes it even funnier. But
All right.
not a bone in my body believes that. Yeah, it's gonna be OSU this year. Like I said, it maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like a bit of a down year for the Big Ten, OSU included, honestly. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's OSU. The Justin Fields list, Ohio State, Ryan Day still there. When you got Ryan Day coaching, you always have faith. He's in my opinion, obviously not just my opinion, top 10 coach. Some believe top 5. Offense is going to get going regardless of who's playing quarterback. And he's got two guys he could trust at receiver. You can't go wrong throwing the ball to either one of them. And so they're going to put up points. CJ, Stroud, whatever you want to call him.
Exactly.
Whatever his name is going to get a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns in his first year as a freshman. So he's going to be comfortable. He's got 3 years. He's going to be in that offense for 3 years. So if he balls out this year, Ohio State's a lock for the next 2 years after that, at least.
Yeah. And finally, the division I would say the consensus is probably Oregon. But the division with the most, I would say, possibility of upset would be the Pac-12. Okay. And I'm going to ride with my guys here. Washington Huskies are going to win the Pac-12. I don't think it's that crazy.
It's not.
I don't think it's that crazy. I have them winning the Pac-12.
Yeah, well, my bold prediction was UCLA winning the Pac-12. That's not changing here. I'm going to ride with them as well for the same reasons I mentioned before. DTR, Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. Hopefully,
Chip Kelly, baby.
Offense itself. Chip Kelly running the offense as well. Great mastermind. Who knows? Maybe this offense could propel the entire team to winning the Pac-12. So there's my choice.
UCLA is back, boys. As per LBS. That was not me saying they were going to win.
Yeah, don't quote that one.
As badly as I do want to say Utah or another team, I do love the Pac-12 for the fact that you can have a 2 or 3 loss team in the championship game. I like that about the conference, but I'm going with Oregon this year. I love Anthony Brown, even though he didn't really start. Tyler Shuck's gone. He has the reins now. It's his time to turn up. I think he's going to. So, yeah, not much to say, but I like Oregon's outlook this year.
Boys, for the first time, we do not have double winners. No one has the same pick here, boys. I'm going with the 15th ranked USC Trojans. They're back. Officially, they're back. This is the start of them coming back. The days where they, going into the Rose Bowl, it was impossible. They're back to the Reggie Bush days. They're back. This is an official statement. Quote me. They are back. USC Trojans are back.
Okay, Shaner.
I like it.
Fuck you. Fuck all 3 of you.
Hey, listen, no one had Florida either.
That's true, but
Cam's the only one feeling nice right now. Cam's the only one feeling nice.
who's winning the MAC?
Buffalo,
I don't even know if Marshall's in the MAC.
Ohio,
I like Buffalo to win the MAC.
Akron.
All right, boys.
Akron.
Who else is in there?
Akron Zips.
There's Arkansas State, I think, is in the MAC. It's a weird conference. Bowling Green is there.
I think UMass is gonna win their conference.
Isn't UMass literally the worst team in college football?
They are, and they're independent.
I was gonna say they're also independent.
All right, boys.
So is Notre Dame, so fuck them.
Let's move on to our top 5.
Oh, baby.
Well, if we were to rank the top 5 hosts of Nothing But Controversy, we literally couldn't because Matt's not here. Matt actually quit the podcast due to creative differences with Shane. So he will never be back.
Get some
This week-
RIPs
Yeah, get some RIPs in the chat.
comments.
F's in the comments.
But
Oh.
this week we're keeping it simple. We are going with our top 5 projections, or our projections for the top 5 at the end of this season, NCAA football edition. Okay, so I'll go first, and I did allude to this before, and it is a hot take, because I do have Georgia not in my top 5. Okay, so at
If you have
5,
Washington over Georgia, I'm
no,
gonna cry.
no. At 5, the Desmond Ritter led
Oh,
Cincinnati Bearcats.
Oh, baby. You know what? It's about time Cincinnati gets their damn respect. So I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
At 5. At 4, OSU, Ohio State. And I know I just said they wouldn't win the their conference, but whatever. Fuck it. At 3.
Oh, it killed me.
At 3, OU, who will defeat the second-ranked Clemson Tigers and move on to the national
Ooh.
championship, where they will play the Alabama Crimson Tide, my number 1 ranked team at the end of the 2021 season.
I love it. I was gonna go for 1 to 5 because I don't know. That's how it felt. But I just want to talk about Cincinnati because I'm gonna put Cincinnati and OSU at 5 because I don't know what to do right now. But I really like what Cincinnati could do this year, especially if they can beat Notre Dame. If they beat Notre Dame this year, I think they'll go undefeated, which would be huge for them. Having Des Ritter, I found the tight end's name is Josh Wiley. He had a crazy year last year in the shortened season. I'm pretty sure put up 6 touchdowns and like 500 receiving yards. Nothing crazy, but for a tight end in college football, it says a lot. Exactly. And I think they're one of those teams who are like an older team, a lot of juniors, a lot of seniors. So I could see that, playing a factor in where they're ranked and how they win their games. Like, I think they're going to have to blow teams out to really make a top 5 push because let's be real, their schedule is not crazy. I think their second hardest team might be like UCF. But so yeah, I just wanted to talk about Cincinnati, put it going to number 5. I'm going to put OSU, but I just wanted to mention them, a little honorable mention to them. Number 4, I'm going to go with Georgia. Number 3 and 4, really, I don't know what to do. I'm putting Clemson and Georgia. I think those are interchangeable depending on what happens week 1 and obviously down the line in the season. OU number 2, I think they're going to have just a huge season, massive season. And as we've all talked about for a long time today, Bama number 1, not much to say there as well. So, yeah, there's the top 5 for LBS this week.
Yeah, it's not really we can't really call it honorable mentions, but on the outside looking in for me in this top 5, Iowa State, Georgia, Oregon, and Cincinnati. Unfortunately, I don't think the AAC is strong enough this year. When years where Memphis and UCF were crazy. I mean, Memphis will still be good, but UCF will still be good, but there's no other team that's really competing in that conference. But yeah, so they're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
At 5, I have Georgia. I think Clemson edges them out this weekend. I don't see them being able to recover from that one loss in a very strong SEC this year. We'll see. At 4,
whoever loses this weekend is going to be 5 at the end of the year.
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
I don't think with Clemson, no.
Yes.
Why is that?
That was just my argument for my top 5.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just thinking like if Clemson loses, they're like they'll go 10-1 or 11-1.
Mhm.
If Georgia loses, like it's a struggle for them to keep that
Yeah.
record as one loss. But anyways, we'll see. At 4, I have OSU. I think they'll cruise through the Big Ten. Could be higher on this list if they blow games out. We'll see. Even with one loss, they'll probably still win the Big Ten. So could see them sneaking in if it even comes to that. At 3, I have Oklahoma as well. Just for the fact that, like I said, I think like Clemson should win this weekend in my opinion, but if they don't, they still have the easier schedule of the other teams, so they'll slide in at 2 again, and then life as we know it, Alabama at number 1. Doesn't really need to be said, but it's being said regardless, and I'm regretting the words as I say them.
I am upset. We didn't even get a damn honorable mention. Me and my Florida Gators. I am devastated. Worst part is they're not getting one for me either. At 5, based on my argument that we just talked about of whoever loses this week is sitting at 5, Clemson. So that shows you that I think Georgia will be winning this week. At 4, Georgia, because I think those teams, whoever wins that game is sitting at number 4. 3, Ohio State. I've talked about them before. You always got a chance with Ryan Day as your coach. Number 2, and your national championship winners, the Oklahoma, definitely Oklahoma.
The Oklahoma Buckeyes.
And at one, let's be honest, it's not fair. It sucks. Once again, Alabama. Who will be upset by Oklahoma? And that literally I put them at 1 because I just want them to be upset in the national championship. That's all I want. That's all. I just want to. I live with Matt. I was with Matt during that national championship game, and I did not enjoy any second of being in the same living room with Matt for that national championship game.
I wish Matt was here because I would tell him right now that if it ends up being Oklahoma and Alabama, there's no chance I'm sitting in the same room as him.
No.
Last time we did that, it was
at my house
when Oklahoma finished 4. Yeah, and every time Alabama gained a first down, had a reception,
Let's go.
completed pass, clapped in my face very aggressively. Didn't really enjoy it. So Matt, if you're listening right now, I'm not watching the game with you. I hope it comes down to that though.
Bragging rights.
Yeah.
Then we can listen to Cam brag instead of Matt.
This is I'm gonna go off on a little rant.
Oh,
10-second
here we
rant.
go.
There's
10
no
seconds.
way you're excited when Bama wins. Like, you can't be.
The thing is, Matt is the biggest. Like, if his team loses, you can't talk to Matt for like a week. It takes him like a week to process what happened. So I just want to see like Cam try and talk about the game and just Matt get pissed for like a week straight.
Oh, that'd be great.
Matt, we love you.
We
But
do.
for creative differences, you had to leave. So now we're going to bash you a little bit here, buddy.
Speaking of, I don't know where that transition was going. I have nothing. But this segment's fucking over.
Hey, speaking of Matt being locked in the back of someone's trunk and
Boom.
right now,
Boom.
we're gonna move on to this week's locks.
I know I said Matt was kidnapped and he had to leave the show for creative differences. That was all a front. Let's be real. Matt is at a cottage having fun while we're here working, coaching football. doing the podcast. So Matt will be back next week, unless this video gets to 100 likes, in which case we'll kick Matt off the show permanently. We will be 4 hosts forever. Okay, so drop a like if you hate Matt.
Bro, if we get one like, I'm gonna die.
But my lock of the week, lock of the season, we'll call it. Guess what? Alabama's gonna be in the college football playoffs. We've said it 10,000 times today, but that's my lock of the week.
If that doesn't hit, that's gonna be the worst bad beat ever.
Oh,
Ever.
fuck yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that's my lock.
Well, going back on Cincinnati, the lock of the week is that they win the AAC minus 225. I would be comfortable putting a lot on this one.
That's not terrible. Like,
No.
if I had a big bankroll, I would kind of.
Exactly. If you're a big baller, you know what you're doing on the betting apps, this is one you want to hammer.
Fuck yeah.
Listen, I said multiple times in the last couple of weeks that I don't know what's going to happen in the Big 12. I also said today that I hate being biased, but it's locks time. You got to bring out the cojones. Oklahoma will win the Big 12 for the 7th year in a row. No mistake about it.
Love it.
Lock it in. Maybe make a little parlay.
Ooh. With all your that'd be fun with all of your division conference winners.
Don't put more than $5 on it because definitely not going to hit. But
once again, I have one for this week and one for this season. This week, I have to shout out my boys. Florida over FAU. That's my lock for this week.
Fuck! I'll throw in Washington over Montana too. Fuck it.
Lock of the week, lock of the year. Talked about him before. I don't know if you could bet on this, to be honest, but I'm still going to use it. Scott Frost is the first coach fired. That is my lock.
I think you can bet on that because I remember one of my friends made a bet at the beginning of the year that Mike Babcock was going to be the first coach fired, and it was like,
I think there's so many coaches in college football that I don't know if you could, like NHL, you got 30 coaches, right?
Yeah.
Like, or 32 now.
Yeah.
But like, if you're betting on like 150 guys, like there's head coaches I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
But I mean, like of the 5 conferences we talked about today, Scott Frost, first one to go.
All right, boys. Matt will be back next week. I think I did an all right job hosting. I did okay.
you did a great job.
We had a good backup, solid backup.
Okay.
Very serviceable.
I know what comes next. And Shane, I think you know what comes next.
We all
You
know
know,
what comes
As a
think-
reminder, before you pick up your laptop,
Oh.
follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok and Twitter. Share this episode with a friend. Drop a like, drop a comment. We'll reply to your comment in like 3 seconds. And if you do all that, little Shaner there. We'll give you a big old kiss.
And please help us find Matt.
Yeah, we're nervous.